Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 between asher1611 and Sawneyrath1 tonight on another installment of the Final Fantasy Randomizer 2020 Spring Tournament here on Speed Gaming and also on Randomizer. Want to say hello to everyone. We are ready for the second in this 3-game series. Asher is up 1-0, and you can see we have an interesting party. We'll talk about that draft in a moment. In the meantime, I'm Cyclone, joined by Omar's Ubermuller. How you doing tonight, Omar's?
I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to this. We already know who the winner of this is going to play. The winner of this gets Cheesinator, another very, very tough opponent. This is the 1-16 matchup, but this was by no means looked at as a 1 versus 16. Asher, being that 16 seed, is a fantastic runner. Pretty much everyone within that top 16 has a chance to go. So we're going to see if Sonny can push this to get us to a game 3, or if Asher can close it out tonight.
It is true. There's no easy match at this point. They're all difficult when you get to the brackets. You only have 16 of 74 players who started this tournament. And a lot of great names fell by the wayside, especially in that play-in race that we had to get the last 6, 7, or 8 entrants to the brackets. So a lot of good names fell by the wayside. We are in a cutthroat battle now to get to the top of the bracket. And let's talk about the draft a little bit. Asher chose the White Mage. Sawneyrath chose the 2 Thieves. And then we got our fighter. So that's how we got the draft worked out tonight. And as you can see, Sawneyrath plays as Mario. And we have Soft, Life, A-Rub, and Cure in the White Magic shop. Let's see what's in the black as soon as the lady moves aside. And we have Lit, Ice 3, and a couple of all the lightning spells I think were in there. All 3 of them.
Good sweepers, at least early. Got something that we can deal with. Life being there, also very good. So we've got some insurance, we've got some damage off the hop, nothing too horrible.
Sawneyrath can check the item shop. We do not have a vendor item, and we have 154 for cabins. Let's hope we can find some good money early on here, and we can procure a selection of those.
Sonny already making his way directly up into Temple of Fiends, making a big run here right off the hop. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait promotion though for any sort of real spells here. I keep forgetting. I'm so used to everybody having at least one red mage. It seems to be the thing du jour. That we don't have anything quite yet though.
Yeah, no fade at level 1, so we're not going to be able to fade Garland. Normally I would say Lit 3 is going to take out Garland easily, but it's not going to be that easy because they don't have anything to cast it.
Yeah, so it's going to be hoping that we get a sword or something here out of these couple of last 2 chests out of the top Temple of Fiends. See if there's something that we can use to beat Garland down with.
Yeah, so I'm used to having a red mage or black mage in the party, so it's not very often you get to see this kind of a setup. This is what makes the draft format interesting. You're going to pick something to try to trip up your opponent, but of course you have to be comfortable playing with it yourself. If you're not, then obviously you've got a problem.
Yeah, it's you have to feel the most comfortable with it. Nothing good coming out of those chests either.
4 gold in the upper chest. That is definitely not going to buy a cabin. So we are going to get the Garland fight. Let's see if Garland has anything nasty. Well, that attack was not really that nasty. It did do a little bit of damage, though.
Fighter's swinging for some half-decent damage, though, so that's not too bad.
And Garland goes down.
Paper.
And immediately we get to meet the Grumps, and let's see if the Grumps decide to make you do the Garland fight again. So far, we've lost Danny since that victory, but they get back to the castle. There's the Chime. That would give us access to Mirage Tower. Are we going to get Q? No, we're going to get a floater.
Well, that makes things a little interesting here. You have that Chime. You always have, with this extended progression, you have the opportunity to get over, and you can check out those chests on the first 2 floors if you want. But we're still looking for that canal. We're going to need that before we can really start moving anywhere. So we see Asher here is going through. He's checked out dwarves, found nothing spectacular. And now he's making his way over to Matoya. He's checking those free chests to see if we're making our way to everyone's favorite marsh.
And you know what I want to see right now? This is something I was just thinking about earlier today. I really want to see a cube and a canoe right now, force an early sky, and see how that challenges the runners.
Well, especially with not having any good sweepers or anything, we're gonna have to do. Yeah, you have nothing good to get through it. Banking on melee at this part is not the funnest thing in the world to deal with. So, really hoping that you can find something out of these chests to help.
Well, the canal won't help much. It'll give them access to the outer area, but they need to actually... I think they can actually park and go to Mirage Tower now with the ship if they want to, because they start with the ship. That is automatic. So Mirage Tower is available. I don't think they're going to go there yet, though.
You know, your real only other option at this point in time, though, is potentially Marsh. You can check out the towns. Hope maybe that one of them is going to end up being Provoca and Crescent. See if you can get some progression through those items. But, you know, I think town checks are going to be the next thing in order, and Sawney doing exactly that, making his way over to Provoca. But womp, 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 the town that's already destroyed and no one likes.
And level 5 magic, again, this is not something they're even going to worry about because they're not going to be able to use it, I don't think, at all, except for the white mage, the only option to get some white magic later. Black magic, they're not going to care about at all here, so we're probably not even going to see what the black magic is.
Now, I suspect that Sawney's going to check this out in the black or in the white magic there, but here we go. We're going to take a look.
That's garbage.
Lamp. It's got lamp.
Yeah, that'll be good for the Garland fight. That's about it. Oh wait, wrong game. I mean the I screwed up my own joke. That'll be good for the Aghanim fight, I meant to say, but yeah, wrong game.
Hey, you know what? I say it every time. You never know when that dark hits, and you know you lose that 2 accuracy that drops you from like 3 to 2 hits. Lamp could be a lifesaver.
So the save goes through and back to the ship, and Sawney is going to head down to the Elfland area. No, he's going to go to Dwarf. That makes sense, actually. Dwarf is the better first check. 2 free chests there, and hooray!
Yeah, I know Asher checked them out. He'd reset out of it really, really quickly, so I'm going to assume it was nothing of import that was there, though.
Well, Asher's heading down to the Elfland area right now, so we are going to see that at least. That'll be new. That's the other town we have access to. Are we going to get something that has an incentive item, or are we going to, you know, end up at Lufane without the slab translated?
Oh, this Arsnek wants to make sure that we don't know yet. And it is the Fane.
Oh, I have gained witch powers again today, apparently.
Well, off to Melmond and Crescent and potentially Onrak to see if there's some towns there we could use.
Yeah, Melmond and Crescent, they're going to go to those. They do not want to go to Marsh right now.
Nah, nobody wants to go to Marsh. So far, the seas haven't been too evil, though. You know, I feel like at least something on the sea, whether it be a Sahag or Kaizoku or something, tends to have some sort of AoE, but so far so good on the seas. I know I'm just caster cursing that by saying it, but you know you have to.
Well, it seems funny, but it could be that if Gaia, let's say, is at the Melbourne location, that's not going to be any free items and no good magic there either for the White Mage. So if Fade is even at level 2 and Provoca is locked by the airship, guess what? You're going to wait for a while to get your magic. I'm going to be curious to see how this turns out here.
Asher heading finally up to Temple of Fiends. He wants to check out these chests, because I'm pretty sure he just did a straight run into Garland at that. Yeah, he just did a straight run into Garland. Or did he even fight Garland yet?
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did. I think
wrong.
he just... neither do I. I think he did a whole bunch of running around before he decided to go and fight this.
Yeah, I think Garland is still standing for him. So Garland was going to have a harder time taking out his fighter because, well, Sawneyrath did it at level 1. And Asher gets to drag around a couple statues now. That's not going to help with the Garland fight.
Always fantastic when something like arachnids, which are going to come up in multiple packs later on, you know, firing something like Brack.
And 8 minutes, 15 seconds, we have a Garland fight, ladies and gentlemen.
A little bit of an unorthodox play, checking everything else out first before dealing with this, but you know, sometimes you just want to check everything, see if there's anything else. And man, did Garland ever roll low on HP? It was like 45.
And now he's going to learn that he didn't miss anything. And he's seeing that chime and he's thinking, oh no.
Is that where something's going alive? Here we've got Elflin sitting in Melman, so he's going to run up to White Magic, bypasses Black, doesn't care. Still haven't seen Fade. Wall good, but it's too expensive. We don't have money yet.
I'll be curious to see who makes that cheeky play to check out Mirage Tower first, especially if the cube shows up in short order and we don't get any other progression. I'll be curious who makes that cheeky play to try to clear out Sky without any magic. That will be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a real good chance to look at the encounter table either. It looks like there was a half-decent run somewhere, but I'm not 100% where it was. There's Fade at level 4, with Cure 4, though.
That will be in something that comes in useful outside of Temple of Fiend Revisited, because that Cure 4, they're probably going to want to save 1 or 2 charges to use if needed there. I'll be interested to see where Life 2 ends up, because that's what will be more important than Cure 4, and that will make Fade the better of the two.
Yeah, and then that'll open up your ability to be able to use those Fades a little more liberally if you need to, but by the time we're getting there, you're hoping that you've got some good swings. Hopefully you've got either a Katana or a Fast at 4 as well.
Yeah, we found Bane and Fast. Yeah, Bane and Fast are both learnable.
So that's really, really useful to be able to have Fast once you promote. That makes fights with your melee carries so much better. So now I'm going to assume we're heading over to Crescent to go figure out... No, Asher's doing something else. I'm not sure.
Asher is hanging around the dwarf area. Hooray!
Yeah, clearly wants to go talk to Hooray Dwarf, I guess. I find it interesting that he's had that thief poison and that darn thing just doesn't want to die.
At least we know where Elfland was now. And now we're going to find out what's at Crescent Lake. We still have no progression towns. We still want to find Provoca. We still want to find Crescent Lake, Manila here. Those would be progression. And that is on-rack. Are we going to have a vendor item? No.
So that means if we're looking for progression, unless we have horrible luck with both of those being floater locked, we got to sail to on-rack.
At this point, I think they are both floater locked.
We can get to on-rack. We have the dock sitting outside of it. We can check on-rack and see if that's there. But if that ends up being Gaia, boy oh boy, that would be real annoying.
Well, one of them is definitely floater locked. I'm going to take a wild guess here. The way this seed is shaping up so far, they are both going to be floater locked. That is my guess on that.
That would be absolutely horrible, because then you have to really make a decision. You're pretty much left with either Marsh or that Chime in Sky, and you have nothing but some real low-level melee to try and carry through.
Now, the good news is the first floor does have some easy enough chests to check. You might have to get a couple encounters on the way, but you are going to have chests that you can check and then try to get out of there and save those items. So you might get some good weaponry while you're there. You might get some money. Not that the money's going to do much right now. But you can get some items out of there. If you can make it to greater than less than room, you can get those as well. You might be able to pull a couple fights and get some experience along the way to make things easier as well. That would allow you to make the Marsh dive a lot easier as well, because the normally low experience enemies you find in Marsh, you'll be able to tank your way through more of those crowds now, as long as there's not too much bad magic in there.
Yeah, Asher doing a little bit of a grind here. He's getting some cash. He wants to see if he can get his White Wizard to be able to throw at least one of those Fades out to help him out. And plus the added benefit of finally his second thief decides, after being poisoned and making horrible noises, dies.
We found Crescent Lake. That appears to be what's at the on-rack location. That's the only town we hadn't checked yet.
That is, yeah. Sawney made the trek across through the Cardia Isles, got himself here. And now we're gonna see what the old people have been hanging on to. Meanwhile, Asher has been on this fight for about 10 turns, it feels like, slowly trying to chip down this.
So,
oh my goodness.
So, let me just call this, because I usually like to throw a member of our Final Fantasy community in there. That was Lord Fizzlebeef, one of our sages hanging out over there today, and he gave our runners the cube. That means that T-Mat is now accessible. We can go through the entire Sky Palace, all of Mirage Tower, at low level, and this looks like, unless it's in Marsh, this is where our progression is.
Boy, oh boy, those are, at this level, and especially having this comp, you are not happy to see that. I mean, you have nothing that's gonna help to clear through that. Ugh.
Oh, I think they're going to go to Marsh before Sky, but this is not a savory choice. I'm going to be honest with you on that. The good news is there's a lot of chests in Sky, so the odds that you're going to find one or two, you have to find at least one or two loose items in one of those. So the odds that there's going to be the loose item in Sky is much higher than it will be in Marsh. I could see them trying to make a play on Sky first, but they have to make some levels to do that. And that is going to be tough to do. There's no real grind tiles available yet. They could go... No, they can't even go to Northwest Castle and check those. Those aren't even available because there's no key.
Best grind tile option at this point would be if you went around to Earth. There's the 3 grind tiles, the 2 in the Hall of Giants, and the regular Earth tile that would be available if you're looking for that. You could pop grind if you want. You do have, if I'm not mistaken, did we not see a harm spell which would help out in Marsh? I don't know if anyone bought it.
I don't remember if I saw it. Maybe Chad can remind me on that. I don't remember whether we saw it or not. But if it is there, that could be an option for the undeads in Marsh as well, yes.
We're getting, I'm just checking our notes here that our wonderful tracker Jonathan Yoshi put up for us. Harm 3 at level 3, so...
Spider MBI will confirm that in the chat as well. Harm 3 at 3, I was just going to say as well.
Yeah, so again, shout out to our tracker, Jonathan Yoshi. I have to remember that you actually do keep notes, and everyone here who does this stuff does. I need to learn to read.
Another note here from Danny is that Asher did get it. I don't know if Sawneyrath got it, however. He's going back right now to Corneria to look for... Well, he's going to heal somebody. Yoshi.
Yeah, his fighter's been dead. Yeah, Asher spent that time fighting the bunch of ogres and things outside, and he got himself a couple levels and a bunch of cash, so he was able to actually buy his fade and things.
Asher gets the news of Cube and stands there for a moment as if, come on.
Yeah, it's like, really? Those are my options are a really low-level Sky with like 1 fade or Marsh? Come on now.
You could almost hear him sigh as he got that.
Yeah, it's not the most pleasant thing to be finding at this time, but those are our options, so let's see what they do. Sonny's heading out of the Inner Sea, which leads me to believe that he is heading over to Mirage.
That's a very good estimation here, especially where he's sailing right now.
And we're going to see which direction Asher takes it, if he's going to come back in, or if he also will bank that it's going to be somewhere in Mirage.
You can get much better levels in Mirage, so it's a bit of a gamble to go in there at low levels like this, but it is doable. If the enemies don't roll very hard spells and they're not hitting too hard, you can get some good levels there.
Oh, the levels can be fantastic for it. It's just... And the first floor... Oh, Sonny looks like he's going to take a South Dock approach here, so he may be going to Marsh.
He is going to Marsh.
To the South Dock.
He's heading in that
South
direction.
Dock of Elfland.
There's nothing else to do over here. Northwest Castle's not available, so he has to be going to Marsh.
Yeah, that's a good play by Sonny, too, because more than likely he's going to end up with something that's probably going to, unless it's a fetch quest item, he's banking that he can remain on the Outer Sea, so that way if it is nothing in Marsh, then he can just jump in that South Dock and go straight, already being in the Outer Sea, straight to Mirage.
Now, I don't recall if Asher saw what's behind Crescent Lake or not yet. If he did not, then this is going to be just more bad news for him. But I think he might have seen this already.
I'm not sure which order of towns he went through yet. He's been doing some very different routing in terms of the order of things that he's been doing. You know, like so it's an 8-minute first time he decided to actually go and fight Garland. So
Well, Sawney has definitely seen all the towns. I was aware of that, and Chad is confirming that as well. I'm just not sure if Asher saw this town or not. This would be all the towns for him if he, because I'm sure he saw all the other towns by now.
yeah, Asher's definitely seen everything else. The only thing he had, I don't know if he came this. I don't think he's seen that this is on rack here yet. So
Well, he took a bit of a wipe there, unfortunately, so he's going to take a second crack at it.
yeah, those EXPs had a lot of health and heal 3, which when you're not dealing out enough damage to one-shot them, they're pretty much just regenning everything you're doing.
Oh, look at this party pack. One of everything.
Ugh,
And there's a katana. That's going to be good for a thief.
that's fantastic. There's a good weapon that you're going to be able to go. Not something, you know, it's not your master that you really want to be having to fight with your fighter, but with the upgraded stats to the thieves can do some really good damage, and with the weapon fixes being available, so that the dragon and a ribbon. I'll just stop talking about weapons and say, what armor?
Armor is really what they need right now, because they're going to be going in some very tough places with very little.
Yeah, that top half of Marsh is absolutely jacked. Yeah, and we're getting, just looking here at Sawney's magic, he definitely does not have that harm 3, so that's something that if Asher decides to come here, he's going to have a little bit of an edge, because he's going to be able to be throwing those out to deal with undead packs like this.
So I was about to theorize that Asher might be going to Crescent last so he can make the trip over to Mirage, but he seems to be sailing in a different direction. He might be heading to Marsh himself using the south entrance. And that seems to be what he's doing. Oh, he's going to Earth!
Ooh. He's going to check. That is an option as well, right? We've got the first 3 floors that are available to us. Not a conventional look, but, you know, there are certain members of this community, Caleb, who would tell you that Earth is always the answer.
I've seen 3 loose in Earth before. It's not a bad play.
So, meanwhile,
and yes, when that happened, the runners left after finding the first one and the second one and had to come back both times.
Well, of course, no one's expecting that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Sawney took a wrath down here. Oh, Sawney took a wipe down here, but he did get out the stuff from the top and was able to save all the fantastic goodies that he found. So just has to make his way to the bottom floor here, see if there's anything else that's down here. I mean, given everything that Marsh has given in the top half, I'm just going to naturally assume like the other 2 ribbons of Mass Mune and a defense sword are sitting down here.
Asher has already left the Earth Cave area. The experiment apparently was a failure.
Yeah, he was, he got real lucky because he was probably 2 frames off of resetting simultaneously with that, with the save and potentially nuking his file there. He hit it before the save even kicked in. He ended up hitting that reset. Whew.
Yeah, he hit that reset before the save kicked in. That is extremely dangerous because you have to make sure that save has kicked in.
And it's even worse if you do it because there's always a chance that if you end up doing it simultaneously, like on the frame that the save wants to go, sometimes it erases your save as if it's not there.
Yeah, that can be very, very unfortunate, and that can cause you to start over. And if you're an hour and a half into a scene, you're suddenly being told to start over. That forfeit goes up very quickly.
Yeah. We've got Mux guarding the wizard chest here. Able to get away. We found cabin. So far, nothing in Marsh. That chest is linked to one that he already got in the top left room. So, Marsh is not the answer.
Yeah, sky or earth.
Marsh top, very, very good. Marsh bottom, not so much.
Now, if the loose item is the rod in Earth Cave, that would also allow us to finish Earth Cave, which is very interesting. But you would still have to find some other kind of progression. So either there would be a second progression item in Earth in that case, or the progression is in Sky.
Oh, Fire 3 Scorpions and Speed Gaming
Yeah.
Fork coming in with a rate of 135. Welcome to this Game 2 of Asher Sawneyrath.
I saw a comment on those Fire 3 Scorpions earlier, and if you didn't notice, they also have sleep. So if they're going to be firing that kind of magic at you, and then you're going to be put to sleep at the same time, yeah, let's not go back there, because there's nothing for us to take out anyway.
There was like an ice shield down there. Yeah, Crabcake's the saying, the ice shield. That was probably the only thing of true value that was down there anyway. He got all the good stuff out of the top half and saved. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, RIP Ice Shield, not a big deal. Just a bit of money they can get if anything else.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing that can happen. Asher's been taking this. He's found this shadow right off the power cycle here in the marsh area, just west of Melman, north of the Earth Cave, and he's been doing this for a bit. He's trying to get rid of these undead packs with his Harm 3 casts.
Not a bad idea.
And he's trying to get that level 8, so he's got at least one shot of Fade that he can be throwing out there.
Yeah,
he's at 7, so he's close.
He's trying to manufacture some kind of grind somewhere, because, like we said, there's not a lot of options, and you have to get some levels to be able to survive these places. You can't walk into Earth Cave at level 5 and expect to walk out alive. Unless you're, I don't know, crazy.
Yeah. Or crazy lucky more than anything. There's just so many variety of enemies, so many different things. I wonder if he's checked the Earth tile here. He does. Earths are bones. No one likes them.
They tend to usually have something as well. And just as I say that, thunder comes out.
Yeah, nope. Gonna check these tiles over here. First Hall of Giants tile, Wizards, unrunnable. Nah, it's not even worth trying to get through them to see what the second one is.
And Arachnids have poison. I've seen damaged poison Arachnids already in this first round of brackets. They're not fun.
They're also the ones, didn't they have Brack as well earlier? They bracked him in Temple of Fiends to make him carry around statues, so Arachnids are not playing around.
The last 3 or 4 races I called, they've had something. There's our tail. That's not progression. It's a loose item, but it's not progression.
Yeah. That's one loose. Great. Alright, well,
Go turn this in, you'll have an easier time surviving. Oh, wait! You need an airship to do that. Sorry!
Oh, what's that? You've got a floater? That's great. Too bad, no canoe. Also got a giant sword, which usually is something just like, you're like, whatever, but at this point, anything is better than, I think he's got a rapier or a short sword that he's throwing. These Arachnids are super script happy too.
Yeah, they usually are. And notice that Asher made the professional move, the veteran move, so to speak, and took the tail outside to save it before those Arachnids got him, and they did get him, so he does still have that tail, thankfully.
Yeah, and they seem to be a lot on that. Is he power cycling to always get those, or is they just that prevalent? I haven't noticed if he always power cycles to find them, or if they're just like a super common encounter.
You don't power cycle and find Arachnids that have damage poison. That is not something you try to find. You burn off encounters to get them off the table, but he's just running into them right now. They seem to be that prevalent. So something like that tells me that Earth might not be the best thing right now. You might have to take your chances on Sky.
Oh, and the unrunnable Georges too. Yeah, Asher's done. He's like, no, I've had enough of this. I got a loose item. That's great. Peace.
Yeah, there's no point digging down to 4 or 2 if you're not going to be able to walk it out. And those Arachnids are making sure you're not going to be able to walk it out.
Cheesinator going with the absolute cruelest of cruel. Saying canoe in the vampire chest. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
No, we're coming up on half an hour into this seed, and so far this is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, oh, look at the pack that he's not making it out of this, Sawny. Oh, man. And he did not make that play to check or to pull the tail out after he did. I wonder even if he checks these chests, if at this point it's just going to be, all right, I know it's the tail there, I really don't care. I'll get it later.
He can't use it right now.
Yeah,
he can't use it right now. He'll come back and get it when he does Dig of Earth Cave.
Yeah, when I come in, whenever I know I'm ready to promote, then I'll go get it. But right now, who cares? Just doing an information check on these chests.
I didn't see Sawny's levels, but taking a quick look at the HP when he comes up, it looks like he's only about level 4 or 5 right now. So he is not going. Those arachnids are just going to insta kill him every time they show up. And it's all over.
Yeah, this is going to be ogre real. Maybe not quick, but it's going to be a very slow ogreing coming here.
Yeah, I couldn't kill one of them, and yeah, that's not worth it.
Yeah, there's at his levels, it's not going to be easy. Those are probably the best things he could hope to see. We haven't seen anything come out of the snakes yet. So he's probably going, please let me get a run.
He got to the chest. He knows what's in them. If he can walk out with the gold, he'll take it out, but I don't think he's going to work. Oh, he's going to go for the tail again.
Gonna see. I think this is going to be, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, whatever, who cares? I have everything I need to know about this. I can come back and get it later. And it seems like Asher's going to do the inverse of what Sawney did. Sawney doing, Sawney did Marsh first. We've got a South Dock. Looks like he's got, since we've got Lefenish Hospitality on, we can go in up here. Nope, he's just thinking of Marsh and then leaving. So he's going to make the sky play. Meanwhile, Sawneyrath is dealing with all of these fantastic unrunnable George Ogre packs and that. At least for only being one George. Not horrible.
He killed one of them, but not a lot of experience off that pack, so it's not something you're going to grind on.
And of absolute note, Asher is level 8, which means he has one shot of Fade now, which can really be good. If he's got houses, quite a few of them, then you could go in. If there's something half decent right on the power cycle first floor Mirage, or even potentially T-Rex sitting in the desert outside of Mirage, that could be something that you grind on to really start beefing your guys up.
He definitely knew what the charges were, and that's a good thing to know when you're trying to plan what level you should be, what charges you get at what level, what you can use where. Knowing that Fade is level 3, having that ability to recognize, hey, I get a charge at level 8, and hey, if I take that to Mirage Tower, I can get some good experience on something there, and then just keep saving as I go and get some quick levels. That shows you veteran skills right there to be able to decipher something like that and be able to use that to your advantage to try to get leveled up quickly and be able to then take those levels and get through something a lot quicker than you otherwise might be able to.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was his only house, though, so whatever he's got at this point, he's not going to be able to rebuild charges unless he finds a house in here. Oof, that Chimera destroyed that thief.
Yeah, that was a massive hit. But again, level 8, you're going to expect him to hit when you're at level 8.
Nothing of value on the first floor, so he's going to go check out the less than greater than room. And if it's not here, it's got to be floor 2 or 3 of Earth, then.
Or it could be a sky. They have the cube.
Oh, that's right, yeah. It's not somewhere here.
If it's not on the second floor, I wonder if he's just going to go ahead and try to get some buildings and try and do a grind. He's going to fade on the Cerebus. One of them dies, the others don't, so he's out of charges of that already, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's a 248 that didn't drop once. They've got a little bit of health.
Yeah, they're a little bit beefy today.
So somewhere between 240 and 300 health that they've got, which isn't the nicest to see.
You heard me while getting the Bones fight, the Bones with Thunder.
Able to get off there. Oh, he went back and picked up Harm 3 when he went there. That was really smart.
That was a good move. to be able to get that, because now it's going to give him some ability to use some of those, to fight some of those characters that are subject to it, the undead, basically.
See, he doesn't know these Arbones have... Oh boy. He doesn't know these Arbones have Thunder. This is going to be a very rude awakening for Sawney very quickly here.
Yeah, this is going to be bad news. There it is. Good night. We are finding the Gassies on Asher's side. You don't usually see those in Mirage Tower, but they are today. Not frequently, anyway.
Yeah, so close to being able to check. Okay, here we go. Onto the left hand side. Money, 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 money.
Canoe!
Ooh, there's the canoe. Well,
there's your progression. That's your progression. Yeah, he's going to come back later for Sky. There's no way he goes to Sky right now.
No, a gold bracelet and that canoe. Nice little pickups here. That's fantastic. Now he knows he doesn't have to worry about trying to dig out the entirety of this. And then also of note, he also got a house, which means if he does know that there's something half decent around, he can rebuild those charges right away.
Let's lock the rod on Sky 3rd floor. What do you say?
Why not? You have to go back.
Might as well just make it like a forced double dip anyway, since you're not going to do this now anyway.
It's going to throw out the harm 3 while running with the others. Doesn't get to see it. Probably wanted to see if those harm 3s would have been enough to take those vampires out for a little bit of information, because those are great if you know something like a harm 3 can take some of them out. They're great experience for that.
Meanwhile, he takes out the Chimera, but he's more concerned about getting that canoe out of there right now. He does not want to lose that canoe and have to walk back for it. That's a lot of
Steps
time.
away, got it.
And now he has a save, and now he has a canoe, and I would say in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, he will have an airship.
Yeah, this is a beeline right to Ryukon at this point.
Yeah, because that's going to give us access to another incentive item from Vicky the Pirates, who are actually easier to kill. Ironically enough, being a fight from the start of the game. And then we're going to find out what's at the Cardia Islands, all the free items in there. We're going to have the tail to promote so we can have some extra hitting power and more weapon usage for the fighter, and armor and things as well, like the Age of Shield, for example. So he's definitely going to be trying to cash in that tail to promote as well.
Yeah, both of them having walked that out is really, really big. Asher, hasn't really found much at this point in terms of progression in the way of like post promotion. Pardon me. For equipment and such, but Sawney's when he gets that, he's gonna feel real good knowing or do I have it backwards for who got the katana? Oh man, brain, come on.
I think it was in.
It was in March.
I think it was
March.
No, it was
March. Yeah,
March.
it was
Yeah,
March.
I meant to say March. So it was definitely Asher who I think picked that up, because I think he went there.
Sawney's the one who did.
Oh. Yeah, it was Sawney who went there. That's right. Anyway, here's our first of the many checks that we're going to be able to do now, and that is our crystal. Matoya, we are coming for you later. This will just be an infinite fetch quest. I'm going to say that right now.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not a horrible thing, though. You're getting a 5% experience boost.
Exactly.
With every single key item turn in and such. So you haven't really. No one spent a lot of time doing big grinding. Asher spent a little bit of time doing that outside of Earth and that. On those shadows and that. But outside of that, we really haven't found anything at this point in time that's really, really good grindable.
Let's have
the more crown.
Oh, it's a
Continue
crown.
the fetch quest. So getting every one of these extra things and getting that extra 5%, it's just going to make leveling up and going through that much faster and easier.
And one thing we should point out with that canoe as well, that makes 2 of our loose items. We found the tail loose as well over in Earth. So the tail and the canoe are 2 of our 3 loose items in this seed today.
Let's see what else we can find. What else is going to be kicking out? One of the things you hate seeing is the loot, because that means it can be anywhere.
Yeah, the loot is the one item you really don't want to see because it's the thing that you know can be in any location. And yes, it's nice to get out of the way. It's nice to limit down where to find other things. But if you're looking for progression, the loot is not progression until the end of the game. So it's really the progression you don't want to see early.
Yeah, but it's also not the one you don't want to see as the final loose either. Because boy, is that annoying.
True. You want it locked. You want to add a progression spot, not a loose item.
So Ash gonna clear out Cardia here. While thinking about it, dragons are guarding their treasure.
Excuse me, Mr. Dragon. Falchion not worth the save.
Sawney did some shopping, picked up some more 3 and 4 spells. An Ice Sword on Asher's side. Finally, something really decent for that fighter to be swinging. And finally remembers that he's had that giant sword the entire time and equips it.
Yeah, the Ice Sword goes to the next character instead. And tries to park the airship on the sea. The water's not going to do good for the wood on that thing.
He's just buffing the bottom. Now we're gonna see Sawney's making his way over to Sky Mirage. He's gonna fight a second Ice Sword. Jeez, everybody gets an Ice Sword.
You get an Ice Sword. You get an Ice Sword.
Those are fantastic weapons.
And time to drop that giant sword.
Well, he equipped it for a total of about 30 seconds and found something better.
I'm surprised the other Ice Sword didn't go to the other thief. Well, actually, no, the thief, it wasn't the thief. It was the red mage, I think, who got it. Thief can't use it, of course.
Yeah, it's his fight. He had the first one went to his fighter. His second one went over to his ninja. Now, his ninja can use any and everything in the universe now. So.
Slab. So back to Melbourne, which we did find over, I believe, at Provoca. I believe is where that was. Yeah. And then Lufane was over at Elfland. So we have the slab available now to translate and get an item for from the Lifinish. The Lifinish, sorry.
Lifins, Lufons, you know, whatever you want to call them.
Lufons, yeah.
So Asher is going to chase this down. He's going to see, it looks like Sawney's, he's looking for steak. Sawney's steak hunting.
Steak.
Steak's a little thick.
Steak provides some good flavor, not just some good flavor, but also some good experience. Well, not the best experience, but still a decent experience for where we are.
He's up to level 10 now, so he's got a few charges here. So he's going to be able to maybe do a few fights in here that Asher was unable to. He only came in with the single charge of Fade when he came in at 8. So Sawney's going to have a few charges of it at this point. So he might be able to, if he finds a decent vampire pack or something like that, be able to start grinding on those a little bit more, just getting that extra bit of security and maybe a couple of levels while he's checking this.
Well, there's the Opal Terrier I called for, and this, you were right, this is going to be the walking grind, that sort of a walking grind that we're going to be looking for here, because having those extra fade charges, that will give a chance to get a few more battles out while going around here, possibly save those battles, and then get out with the canoe, save the extra experience from that, and he might be up at level 12, 13 when he leaves here if he's lucky.
Yeah, and still not good enough to think about doing a complete clear of this by any stretch, especially when your Fade caster dies.
Well, he might not be at level 12 or 13 after all. That I just changed my opinion on that.
I wonder if it's worth just resetting.
I would reset.
Yeah,
he just did.
There's nothing. I'm surprised he's even going back for this. What special came out of those chests that he really feels he wants to keep?
It wasn't the wooden shield. Maybe he just wasn't done checking yet.
I thought he had at that point checked everything that he did, so I'm not sure what he values to come out of this.
Just guess what chest something is in, I guess.
Yeah, he did look through all of them though. I think the best thing that came out of it was like a silver armor. You know, not something I think I'd be walking back for.
Looks like Asher is investing in some Cura 3 at this point, and looks like he's going to get some magic for his knight as well. So we have some black magic available for the knight.
Yeah, Ninja's gonna start being able to throw out some spells, help clear that once he's able to get to level 15. Have a few extra AoE casts going on.
At this point, I'd say this gives Asher a huge advantage because Sani is fairly behind coming up on this canoe, even though he might have some extra levels right now. Having those sweeper spells for Asher is going to allow him to make up that difference very, very quickly.
Yeah, once he hits 15 and those ninjas are able to start throwing out those sweepers, he's gonna power through it. And you also got to remember, he's got 2 ice swords, which is gonna help the melee to get him to 15 a lot quicker as well.
I think when Sani was throwing out the double thief in the draft, because let's remember when the draft took place, it went white mage, double thief, and then fighter. So I think when Sani threw out the double thief, he was not expecting to have lightning 3 available for the thieves to cast. Probably did not want to have black magic be very prevalent in this, and it's going to give Asher a huge boost having that.
Yeah, we got a raid coming in from Speed Gaming 3, so hello, and a buyable rod. Ooh, for 53k, which he has the money for and buys it right away. So that opens up the rest of Earth for him, but I highly doubt he's going to be doing that. He wants to go look for... Has he checked Gaia?
I don't know if either run has really been able to check Gaia yet. We need the bottle to really check Gaia, unless you're talking about the Gaia location.
Yeah, the Gaia...
And speaking of the Speed Gaming 3 raid, hello to everyone coming in from the Kirby race that took place there.
I'm surprised he's not checking the Gaia location to find out if that was Provoca. It's literally half a second to fly north as opposed to walking all this, because if this ends up being Gaia, which it does, this has been a long walk for no real reason.
Yeah, it's and that means Provoca is the only other town we haven't seen.
Yeah, and Provoca is at, well, at least he didn't say. Okay, good on him.
Here's Provoca. Here's Provoca.
Meanwhile, this is going on. Sani made his way all the way through, picked up his canoe in the less than greater than room. This is big for him because he's got a katana waiting for that ninja once he gets out of here to promote with. So that katana is going to do some real work, and dragon armor. And we've got level 2 nuke as well, and temper.
Oh boy. Oh no, I don't know if this is what Sani was planning for.
Yeah, that's a whole... These ninjas are going to turn into mini black mages with how much dependence they're going to be on their AoE. Once 15 hits, they're going to be doing some damage.
Yeah, nuke normally a high level spell. You might as well just call them black mages for the rest of this game.
Boy, oh boy. Ice 3 at 1. Great AoE, though the strongest AoE. You got Lit 3 for the few things that are lightning weak. You've got nuke at 2. Fast, temper. Oof.
I think Asher was planning to use a Fade on the pirates, and the White Wizard wound up stunned. That is a rare reset out of the pirate fight, especially at this level.
Yeah, it's the joys of unsafe pirates. They can get things. They can do some interesting stuff.
This time he gets the Fade charge off. We're going to get to see what Vicky gives us. And if you're wondering how much experience pirates give you, well... it's only about less than 100 each. Not even 50. Oxiel is going to give us access to the Sea Shrine. We do have on-rack. Obviously, we've been to all the towns now. So we do have on-rack available. The Sea Shrine is able to be visited.
Got pro rings available here in the armor shop for 18k. Those are nice pickups. Gonna sell off some of the unwanted. Nah, he doesn't. He's trying to sell off some stuff to be able to afford to get that 3rd pro ring, but just short financially. I don't think that short sword is going to put him over the edge.
So Sawneyrath is sailing around right now. We're going to see where he ends up. He's probably going straight to the airship as Asher did. I can't see him doing anything else right now.
Oh yeah, this is a beeline straight to go get his airship so he can start flying around and doing things. I think you're going to see a promotion real quick out of him. He's got that dragon armor, he's got that katana. He wants that tank up front and somebody who's going to be able to start doing damage.
And I think he might have seen the black magic at level 1 as well, so he knows Lit 3 is out there if that's the case. He does not know about Nuke yet, but when he finds that Nuke, he'll probably be jumping for joy that he's going to have something to help him blast through enemies for the rest of the game, but he's probably going to be upset thinking, Asher has this too, he's a mile ahead of me now.
Yeah, but you got to hit 15 first to be able to use that. He goes straight to Gaia. It's a straight south shot to Gaia, so he's here already.
So I'm wondering if Sawneyrath is going to try to intentionally level up somewhere without the nuke, just using the fade, and getting those nuke charges for the ninjas. That way he can just blast through everything.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's gone and he's done this without promoting them, so he's gonna have to come back to get these spells, because he didn't go directly to Bahamut, which is a little bit of an oversight, a little bit of a not the most efficient routing, because you had to find Provoca somewhere here, and you wanted to check that magic.
At the same time, he wanted to check the magic and see if it was worth promoting immediately, perhaps. And now that he knows what's there, he knows he wants to promote immediately.
Asher dealing with the pillar maze on his side here in Ordeals after going through, promoting, getting the spells, everything that he needs. He's going to be fading out some Medusas and everything, trying to make his way through. Lovely shuffle pillar maze where all the time it seems, especially in this 4-room, you just get bounced back at the start, just like that.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes.
That
pro
is
rings
the
for
luck
everybody.
that happens.
Sawneyrath has pro rings for everybody.
That's good, but he hasn't checked out that Oasis yet, and he's going to find out that he needs... Oh, he's still got the 53k as well to be able to buy that rod, so he's okay.
Oh, that was the vendor. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, the Caravan Oasis dude was holding on to a rod for the 53k.
Of course, trust that guy to pick up the rod and say, "You want to smash things?"
Yeah. I'm sure, of course, because, he knew that this random inanimate carven rod was the thing that needed to break a plate for you to get down to Lich. He knows that, so he priced it appropriately.
Ooh, look, a rod of mystical power.
Always great. It's like, hey, you need this to save the world, right? 50 grand. So now with Sani promoted, he's able to throw that katana onto that ninja, and it's going to be able to start really dealing out some damage. And when he finds that if he continues checking out the rest of these chests, which I don't see why he wouldn't, he's going to be able to equip that ice sword onto that fighter. He's going to have two guys who are to that knight, so he's going to have two characters who can be swinging for some decent melee damage finally.
Switching back to Asher, he just found a dragon sword, so that's going to be something that the fighter is able to use if he so chooses to give that to the fighter. Fade coming out on some catmen right now, or man cats rather, those are. They look like catmen, but remember, the pallets have been swapped around here, so they are catmen. Only level 11, so those charges for Nuke are still not coming up, but slowly making his way up there. More chests, we have money, we have more money, we have an iron gauntlet, not much, and a cloth, which is absolutely worthless at this point. There's a key as our incentive item here.
Well, that opens up a bunch of more chests that you can check to go through. I mean, we're still looking for some extra equipment, so, free chests to check that are usually fairly quick to do, especially you've got airships, so, not a horrible thing to be finding. Again, another one of those things that you don't want to see loose because there are so many potential places for that to be. And with that key, we are only a loot away from go mode. So we're very, very close. And it's interesting that we're pretty much a loot away from go mode, and we really haven't touched Fiend Dungeons all that much.
And look, there's still a loose item out there, so if that loot is the loose item, that is the thing you do not want to see lose, or something leading to the loot. That is what you do not want to see lose. But if that's the only key item left we need, then what we're going to find most likely... is there a fetch quest we have not done yet? We have not done the bottle yet, so the bottle has to be done at some point. That means we're going to find the bottle.
We're missing a... Yeah. We're missing a bottle, an adamant, a TNT, and an herb at this point, as well as a ruby, it's Titan's chest, Titan's trove. And out of that, we still have ice and waterfall in terms of incentive locations to check.
Now, you have to remember as well, sorry to cut you off, we have to remember that there are still 2 other non-key items mixed in with those items as well. I think the Thor hammer has not yet been found, and we also have the power bonk, which can be useful as a magical item if you use it in battle. But it's okay with the Thor hammer, actually. But other than that, the loot is the only thing we really need. So the fetch quest can lead to those 2 items. We can still find the loot with our next item and just be lucky with everything else. Fetch quest into those 2 so-called whammy items. But I wouldn't be complaining if I picked up the power bomb before finding the loot.
Yeah, so at this point we know of our 3 things. We've got a power bonk and a Thor's hammer that are going, and a loose. And those are going to eventually, through whatever remaining fetch quests and things we have, are going to come from loose, waterfall, and ice. So that's what we know at this point in time. So which one will end up particularly falling to that loose spot is going to be very interesting. I'm a little surprised, given that information that I'm sure Asher has been able to piece together, that he isn't checking those incentive locations.
What a grind tile! Gas dragons on the grind tile in the armory.
Those are actually blue dragons masquerading as gas
yeah,
dragons.
They look like gas dragons. That's why I thought they were gas dragons in Mirage Tower earlier. That makes sense.
Blue dragons with stock that has just locked the party completely. Ugh. The blue dragon just wanted to cosplay as its cousin.
Yeah, I keep forgetting, and it threw me off with the man cats earlier too. I keep forgetting that they're masquerading in this look. But yeah, though even blue dragons, they're still decent. Not as good, but they're still decent for experience, I think.
He's got Ash is clearing out the armory. He's gonna check. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get that chest behind this tile. It is a really nasty, with stop. He's gonna try it again though. He's gonna try and run, and stop comes out first turn, stun locks his party. Oh.
Okay, I did just look it up. Each blue dragon has 3,274 experience points, so it is not bad. They can Asher can get some good experience if he wants to take these down. But stop does make this not very nice of a fight.
Followed by sleep, so there's a whole bunch of stun lock, but he gets away. All to find a soft potion hiding behind the chest.
Enjoy that soft potion to help with your stop.
Ooh, a white shirt. That's a fantastic pickup.
Probably the best thing out of this armory. I don't think I saw anything else really good in there.
No, he's gonna feel like that soft potion is the best thing that came out of here, though, for how hard he has
to yeah, for sure. You gotta soften up once in a while.
But, like I was saying, I find it interesting that Asher's choosing to clear this out when he knows that he can put together that the incentives coming out of either ice or a waterfall will lead you to know how many chests you want to open. I guess at this point he's still doing it because he's doing a half walking grind, wants to get some levels, wants to check chests probably to help fill out his gear. But, if you know you're in go mode and there's that potential, then you can kind of be a little more, you can be really picky and choosy about what you want to do, where you want to clear, and where you want to look, as opposed to if you're banking on this loose being that loop, then you're really having to full clear everything.
So he is trying to clean out all the remaining chests up here, and is going to walk out what he has and save it.
He didn't do the hairpin section, though, did he?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did, so he's probably just going to house up, and then I've seen a lot of people who will go in, clear everything that he did, and then potentially clear out the bottom, and then if needed, come back and clear the hairpin section, and that looks like what he's going to do.
Maybe, and he may even just give up on the hairpin section completely, but that would be a bit of a gamble. However, we did see, I think it was yesterday in a race, we did see someone gamble on not checking a couple locations, and it turned out to be enough to give him the win. So it could be a gamble, just leave that behind. If it's there, he loses.
Yeah, and while all that was going on, we were checking out chests. Sawneyrath finished up ordeals, which Asher had already done. He gets himself the key. Haven't checked any key locks, and now we're going to see if Sawney is able... He hasn't found that rod, which he knows coming out of the caravan, which would lead him to only being one item away from go mode. So, it'd be interesting to see what order he decides to start doing this in, and if he's going to clear out those incentives to figure out what's what, so that way he can, start piecing together what he has to do.
So Asher is in a nice combination of stone, stunned, and dead, and got a second dead and decided to reset out of that.
Yeah, Volcano not playing nice at all. And Sonny's going to check the caravan, which is going to pay off big for him as he's going to pick up his rod. So now he's one item away from go mode. He hasn't done his Sarda check yet, but he is going to park here. And look at this, we're going to be hand-holding. We were going to be, except Asher did not save and got hit by an encounter. Instead, we would have been hand-holding towards Waterfall, but Asher unfortunately reset before he got his save off and decides, you know what, now I'm going to stop and check these chests in Elf Locked and nothing special.
And let's see where he goes now that he's done the Elf Lock. He's going to probably continue the checks of the chest, and that's exactly what he's doing going to Northwest Castle. This was predictable because he's checked the Armory in Elfland first. So I suspect he's going to head to Temple of Fiends and the Dwarf Cave in some order next. Probably Dwarf Cave first.
And yeah, Dwarf, and then go to Corneria. See if you can find that final loose, because even if you find it and it does end up being a dud item, then you at least have that knowledge. This first trap tile, he's going to check fires and... Oof, fairly beefy fires, too.
So that exit at level 6 made me chuckle a little bit. At least he has access to it.
Yeah, now that he's promoted, he's got it, which, once he's able to get up, to be able to get a charge of that, it would make things a lot easier for him. On the plus side on Asher, he just hit 14, so he's one off for being able to get those mini black mages rolling. Sonny here now into Waterfall, so we're going to get an incentive check here to see if this is going to lead us to our final required loot, or if we're going to be hunting down ice, or potentially the always fun loose loot somewhere in the world.
We are going to head down to the TNT. Well, actually, no, he doesn't have the TNT. You can't do that. So he's going to head down to the Armory right now.
Cash, Pro Ring, but we've already bought all those. Ooh, an Aegis Shield, fantastic, and a Zeus Gauntlet.
I missed which, yeah, that was the Zeus Gauntlet. Okay, that was the one I missed.
Yeah, he got a Zeus Gauntlet out of the one before. He just has to clear some space for it here, so that's a good little AoE. Surprised he doesn't throw that down to his White Mage for... Oh, I guess his White Mage is his Fade user, though, so... And Nuke's gonna be on board here in a second, so... Still, never argue with free lit 2.
So no loose here. Let's see if he finds the loose in... I'm gonna assume he goes to Temple of Fiends next, because that's 3 items there that he can pick up. And then he'll head over and check 2 grind tiles while he's... Nope, he's gonna go to Corneria next. Well, Temple of Fiends will be after this, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, more than likely, and check out that grind tile. See what's hanging out in front of those for him. Sawneyrath nearly to the end here of Waterfall.
Bane Sword and Opal Armor.
That Opal Armor is fantastic because it was probably going to be the best armor that Asher finds. I have a hard time thinking he's going to be going topside marsh to get that Ribbon and Dragon armor anytime soon.
Yeah, that's going to be a ribbon that gets left behind, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have a very hard belief that he's going to be getting those.
And now that you mentioned that ribbon, because that was something I forgot that Sawneyrath picked up. that is one advantage that Sawneyrath has in Temple of Fiends Revisited, because we're going to see probably a lot of elemental things coming, and a lot of things that can possibly destroy your party, and that's one extra character at least, who will be able to withstand a lot of that. So that can play a major role in what happens here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great when you have a ribbon. I mean, we saw wall, so I mean, wall works, but
we knew there was fetch quests out there, and we just got one from the robot. Let's see if this leads to the loot, another fetch quest, or perhaps a bonk.
also got a sun sword, so those are some pretty decently equipped, ice katana sun on his 3 melee characters now, so that's pretty decent. Imps and Grimps guarding these chests here, and then nothing.
That was even more of a whammy than... That was even more whammy than the other whammies. John is down indeed, and that is unfortunate because the other characters level up without him.
And he wants that white mage to get levels because he really wanted those exit charges coming up.
Yeah, he wants those faded charges too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he is now 17, so he's gonna have a couple charges when he gets out of here of nuke / ice 3, lit 3 combination of things. So that'll be useful for him. At least he's got good melee at this point with those 3 characters to be able to take down these smaller packs of 1-2 enemies for things.
I didn't see what Asher went to pick up in Crescent Lake, but he just left the Crescent Lake location. Just actual Crescent Lake.
He went to go
at Onrack.
Yeah, he got exit that he wanted out of there.
That makes sense. So he's going to take that into Waterfall with him, and Sawneyrath did not grab it, as it has to walk out his findings from here.
Well, he's got exit. He just didn't have the charges or a living.
Oh yeah, that's right, because the white mage fell. That's correct.
Yeah, and that's why it was. He wasn't quite at the level where he had charges for it yet, but he really wanted that white mage alive to at least get the experience from those fights to be able to have the charge.
Exactly.
Everyone's always work trick when it comes to ice, but really, I mean, exit's almost just as good. You're really not losing that many steps, and you get to check that grind tile where the eye is. As soon as you get on that eye tile and you check that chest, you just exit out. So it's not a huge difference. And since we haven't seen Warp, that means it isn't available to us because it wasn't in the first 4 levels. So.
And of course, not necessarily an eye there. The Warp tiles are all shuffled around. For all we know, that could be a Chimera.
Yeah, plus, and if it is something that's half decent that you can grind on for a bit, that's not a bad thing either. Take a few fights, burn all your charges of everything you got, then exit out.
So Sawneyrath does get back to the airship, is back in the sky, and let's see where he sails, or rather flies to next. Sailing is the other version.
Well, he's got that herb. He still hasn't checked out Sarda either, because he doesn't have his
turn in the
crystal.
herb.
And we know that crystal eventually leads to nothingness, but he still hasn't checked it.
So the herb is being turned in. The prince awakes. What doth he give you? He give you dynamite.
Give the explosives to the sleeping guy. Makes sense.
Yeah, I guess you can't really use them.
Yeah, but TNT, I mean, you jostle that the wrong way and drop it in your sleep. Ugh.
Yeah, that'd be something you don't want to drop when you're sleeping. I'm sure it was safely in this pocket.
That was Astos' extra parting gift. Yeah, I'm gonna put you to sleep, and just right here, I'm just gonna slide this in your back pocket. You won't even notice.
Maybe someone will blow you up.
And act all innocent. I don't know what happened to him. It wasn't me. I wasn't even there. So now Sawneyrath is checking out these fires on that grind tile, and look at that, ice 3, boom. done, he's going to be able to burn these charges and get a few levels. He's also got those nukes on board ready to go too. So he's got 2 charges on each of his, on every level with those mini black mages now. That is great. He's going to be able to probably get all the way up if he wants to 21 here. Get all 4 charges with those ninjas and be ready to roll.
So Asher's White Wizard is still alive, but it looks like he is at the same situation where he doesn't have a charge yet, so he is going to have to walk this herb out as well. Either that or he's just fighting these red dragons for experience. I'm not sure which.
No, I don't think he's got the charge quite yet. It's what, 17?
He just got to 17. He just got to 17.
Thanks.
Oh, it is 60. Maybe he does have a charge. Unless he got to 16 while he was here.
Yeah, I think he did. I don't think he had it coming into here. Yeah, confirmation from chat saying he walked in at 15, so 1 off from being able to have it. So Sawney took some time, did all of these fights, burnt off all his charges, got a bunch of levels really quickly. Now he's going to finally do that starter check, get that crystal, which is going to ironically lead to crown and turn him right back around.
Time for the round trip. Time for the round trip.
Wind up right back at Northwest Castle.
We heard you like it here. You have been blessed with the crown. Please enjoy. Asher heads back to Elfland Castle, going to turn in that herb right now. He's going to get his blowing up item to take over to the dwarf. Quick visit to the Lefanish. Time to get Dwarf to blow something up. Hooray! That's our loot. Go mode. And both get it seconds apart. They both know what they have to do now. Sawneyrath is going to check out the treasure trove while he's here. So Asher heads right over the volcano. Writings on the wall, he knows he can go now. He is going to head down and take on Carrie. This will be the first fiend fight of the evening if he can get down there. So that ribbon that Sawneyrath has is going to be something that can give him a bit of an advantage if no other ribbons are found. If there may be some greed checks in some of the chests in Sky or in Sea Shrine, maybe even a couple in Earth. But other than that, we're not going to be digging through chests anymore. We're going to go with what we have, and they're going to hope it's enough to get through the sea to get this victory. Sawneyrath is going to check the Hall of Giants and find some wizards. Finding a silver helmet, so we are getting some checks from Asher here. Some of those checks in Volcano. still not happy with his equipment, so he's going to pick up some more items here. Uber is using that nuke, so nuke is now being put to use to wipe out at least a couple packs of enemies. I don't know if he's going to want to have one of those nuke charges when he gets down to carry. You might want to try to save one of those. This could just be a grind, though, for all we know. And it looks like it is just going to be a grind. He's just going to walk through the hall, take some easy fights, take some easy levels, and then he'll make his run. So he'll know he's a little more secure on his run through the dungeons. But the levels they're at right now, he might just have to go to the dungeons and hope. By the way, something you wrote in chat I did not call it. We did find the game changer, the Vorpal, being located. I believe that was somewhere in the volcano. Something else being pointed out, the katana that Sawneyrath has as well. So Sawneyrath has a ribbon and a katana. Definitely a gear advantage. We're going to see how that plays out as we move on. And we are down to the Fiend fight. Carrie is being engaged right now. We are going to try and get Omar's back eventually as well. It's not like he's having an audio problem right now, so I'm going to go solo for the time being. We do have a Carrie fight. We do have fight. That ninja is not swinging for a lot of damage. I didn't see what the fighter's damage was, or the knight's damage rather. Fade is hitting for 208. That is termination, so we do have enough damage. And Chad is calling out the requisite orb. That is indeed the first orb lit in this match. And that does give him a one orb advantage at this point. Sawneyrath, of course, is doing his grind here. Wants to be a little more comfortable when he does take Temple of Fiends later. So Temple of Fiends revisit later. And of course, when he just goes through all the Fiend dungeons. Tells me that he wants to get to Sky quickly as well and do some of the grinding in Sky perhaps. But he's spending a lot of time here, so he may just be planning to do Sky last after getting another level or two incidentally along the way. I'm wondering if this time being spent grinding is something that may come back to bite Sawneyrath here. We're going to have to see how the time element holds out as Asher gained a full dungeon on him in the meantime. But at the same time, if Temple of Fiends Revisited turns out to be extremely nasty, and then Asher has to find a spot to grind himself, Sawneyrath will be able to go through in one shot, if that's the case perhaps. So this could be an advantage, it could be a disadvantage. We'll have to see how it plays out. I do see that Asher is doing a 3-man strategy, so he is going to make sure, and just explain why he's doing the 3-man strategy for those who are not familiar. It's going to mean that IS is going to gain no experience from here on. Now, the way the experience in the game works is that the experience dropped from a single enemy is split among all of the party members. So in this case, if an enemy drops 6,000 experience, normally you would get 1,500 experience for every character, but with one character down, that means everyone's going to get 2,000 experience who is standing. If only 2 characters are alive, everyone gets 3,000 experience. If one character is left by himself, he gets all 6,000 for himself. That's how the experience in this game works. Ooh, interesting little glitch there. How is he walking in the wall? This does not seem right. I'm going to assume that was not intended, that was just an incidental thing, so I don't think we're going to hold that against him. In the meantime, we're going to find an opal shield. He is not picking that up, it looks like. Not going to check the other greed chests. Or maybe he did pick that up, I just didn't see it. It said can't hold. Anyway, we are on the Kraken floor right now, and that means we're going to see our second fiend fight momentarily. Sawneyrath is still grinding in the Earth Cave here. A massive amount of time being put into this grind. So, again, as I said, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. He is going for the spell charges so he can blast through all of the dungeons. This is for spell charges. This isn't just for levels. This is for spell charges. So that the ninjas are able to use all that sweet black magic and Temple of Fiends Revisited. It'll make those fiend fights a lot easier. And the reason why we know it's for spell charges is because he's keeping both of the ninjas alive. They both have black magic. So we know that he is trying to get those ninjas up to stuff to use that magic. He does need both his fighter and his white mage, so he feels he has no choice but to do the 4-man strategy today based on that information alone. He could leave one ninja down and possibly sacrifice a few levels for him and have one less spell charge, but it looks like he really wants those spell charges. Looks like that wall glitch got clipped. Thank you, Dude Firebird, for that. And release the Kraken as we now have our second fiend fight on Asher's side. 1 hour and almost 20 minutes. Fast comes out to set up the knight immediately. We're getting a fade spell shot, 166. The knight hits for 129. Not a lot, but still fairly decent, given the levels he's at. And that's the one. Oh, wow, that was a soft Kraken. That was only about 450, 500 HP, I want to say. Something in that range, maybe 500. Didn't even get to see anything from him. And immediately to the Sky Palace, or at least the Mirage Tower, which will lead us to the Sky Palace. So, Asher getting what looks like a gas dragon. I made this mistake earlier. It is a blue dragon. So, it is trying to use stop again. No ribbons, so he is susceptible to everything here. So, stop could hit at any time. Sleep is going to hit, and we have 2 of his characters on a knee, but they're going to wake up. So it looks like Sawneyrath has finally completed his grind. He is going to stay in Earth Cave and do Earth Cave immediately. So, given the levels he has gained, this should be a very, very quick mission. But he is now a full 2 dungeons behind, a full 2 fiend. There is discussion about Sonny's gear, and Sonny does have better gear than Asher does. That is an advantage that Sonny does have. Asher did find some minor pieces of gear, but nothing really instrumental. We don't have a katana for his ninjas, for example, so he's not going to be able to use those, or that Sawneyrath. That means Asher has no ribbons. We haven't seen any other ribbons as far as I know. And if Chad has seen a second one and I forgot about it, please let me know. looks like I am remembering that correctly, just the one in Marsh so far. So Asher is going to do some checks in Sky Palace. This could give Sawneyrath the time he needs to catch up. Not much time, but at least a little bit of time to catch up. It'll give Asher the chance to do some of the grinding that Sawneyrath already did as well, but he's going to grind on these, looking for some eyes here in the Sky Tower instead, Sky Palace instead. He's looking for eyes up here to grind on, I think. Getting jokes and chat about the okay men. They are, you know, they are okay men. They're okay. Sawneyrath pulls out a, goes into the boss room, and looks like Lich wants to be remembered today. Has a little bit of HP, but still down in one cycle. And Asher utilizing Nuke on the metal slimes in that battle there, and one survives, so a Cure 4 is going to be utilized to make sure Only doesn't fall. Noticing the name's Only song is Hope. And that's 4,000 XP for each character alive. There's a Chimera. So Sawneyrath is now following Asher into Mirage Tower and Sky Palace. I'll be curious to see if Sawneyrath goes to check any of the chests in the Sky Palace proper, or whether he just goes straight up to the 5th floor. Now, this will not be a tie situation, because he is one Fiend Dungeon behind at this point. Asher is getting one of those eyes, by the way, that I was speaking of. These are an excellent grind tile if you can find the grind tile that they're residing on, because each one gives you 2,063 XP if you have 3 men alive, as you just noticed. So that's a very nice chunk of XP that those 3 characters get every time one of those eyes gets killed, and they're very, very squishy usually. They don't usually have a lot going on. So they're a nice character to take out. And Sawneyrath is skipping the first floor chest. That tells me he's probably going to skip everything in Sky Palace. He may do a greed check on the 3rd floor, but even that, I think he's happy having the katana and a ribbon already. I think he's just going to go for it. He knows he is down 1-0. He knows Asher is a very, very skilled opponent, as is anyone else in this top 16. Many of them have already fallen as well. So he knows he has to put his foot on the gas and just go. And yeah, not even doing the greed check. He's on the 4th floor already. He is ahead of Asher on the 4th floor now. This is not going to give him all the time back when he eventually gets to the volcano. It's not going to give him all the time back, but or C-Shrine in that case, but it is going to give him a fair chunk of time that Asher is using to check the chest. Sawneyrath was grinding instead. Asher is taking advantage of the opportunity to grind here in Sky Palace instead of in the Hall of Giants like Sawneyrath did. Everyone get your Warmech emotes in chat if you have them, or any other Bless RNG or Praying emotes that you have, or even Excitement emotes, whatever you have. We're going to see if we can find a robot to contend with here on this Bridge of Destiny. Right now we're finding errors. I'm hearing a noise. I think we have Omar's back.
I'm back. I don't know how it's going to be. Ooh, ribbon here on Asher's side. Apologies for that. Apparently some technical issues going on, but hopefully we've got those sorted. And an X-Cal.
And a ribbon. He found that ribbon, and Sawneyrath skipped that ribbon, so the ribbon advantage no longer is in play. Both runners now have a ribbon.
Ribbon and X-Cal sitting right next to each other, so that's a nice pickup for Asher.
Still no Warmech. We're finding an actual Nacho because they've been named Nachos in this hack that Sawneyrath is using, which is why he's also playing as Mario. And we've queued the team-map fight, our first team-map fight. So I'm sure you've been watching Omar's, but to catch you up, we did see a grind from Sawneyrath in the Hall of Giants. And we, meanwhile, saw 2 dungeons done by Asher in that period of time. Asher spending the time on the chest in Sky Palace grinding on the way, and now on the 4th floor and going to head up to T-Man himself. Sawneyrath getting that experience of just skipping the chest because he's happy with his equipment. He's going to go for it from here.
Yeah. Ugh. So unfortunately, it sounds like I'm having audio and technical issues again at this time. Cheese, I know you were being gracious to come up and deal with this. It might be best if you come at this point in time if we can do
I
that.
can-
My sincerest apologies to everyone if there is still issues.
I can hear you fine right now. It's up to you if you feel that's needed. But we just saw Sawneyrath go to level 29. So we do have Sawneyrath at a very, very high level. That grind was for a lot of magic for the ninjas, it looks like. And if you do leave Omar's, I do thank you for joining us. Everyone, make sure you give him a follow as well.
Yeah, apologies everybody. I don't know what the heck is going on here. I think my internet's having some issues at this point in time, so apologies if I'm cutting in and out or whatever.
I have a theory, but we can talk about that later. Anyway, Sawneyrath is done 2 Fiend fights now. Asher is going to get up to the Bridge of Destiny. We're going to see if he runs into Warmech, so keep those prayers going in chat for a robot. We got a robot! Prepare to be reprogrammed. Where are you going?
Oh, running.
I want to fight you.
You're not getting away that easy. Okay, maybe you are.
And they call me a chicken. I'm kidding, by the way.
Yeah.
Asher is queuing the fight with Team Out right now.
Didn't see anything special on Bonnie's side out of TMF, so shouldn't be too much of an issue here for Asher. 310 fade, 380 out of Xcal. Boy, this TMF don't have much left in the tank, I don't think. Bane Strat's coming out. 340 Bane Strats, no.
And he's down. So, Asher just has Earth Cave left, and this is one of the... I want to say this is probably one of the quicker Fiend dungeons, rather, to do. So, and Sawneyrath, having been walking around in the Lufane area, I didn't catch what he was picking up over there, but he is going to have to walk back to his airship and take back to the sky and head to his next Fiend dungeon. He is a full Fiend dungeon behind at this point, but the levels he's at, he'll probably be able to do Temple of Fiend Revisit in one shot. I need to see what Asher's levels are to do a comparison, see how well equipped he is for this eventual challenge ahead.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be coming down to whether the preparation of Sawneyrath is going to be required or if Temple of Fiends is going to roll over for him.
Well, Sawneyrath kept all 4 characters alive. He wanted to make sure he had all the nuke charges he could have going down Temple of Fiends Revisited. So he is planning around that nuke. It's very clear to me that's what he was trying to do. We'll see how that works out.
And it's also really nice to see with all of his characters. It looks like they're all over that. They're all over that 400 level as well in HP. So even if a Fiend throws out something really nasty and gets a high roll nuke, he's gonna have some survivability to come through that.
And there is some life casting available as well, so that is also a possibility for the White Mage, as long as the White Mage doesn't get killed. I don't remember if it was low enough level. There might have been a regular life available for someone else. The Knight might have been able to learn it, I just don't remember what level it was at.
Life was level 1, but it was unfortunately sitting in slot 2, so that was locked to the White Mage.
That makes sense.
Only.
That makes sense.
So unfortunately, it's going to be riding on that White Mage to make sure that they stay alive. It's always, man, always having life, Knight learnable life, it just makes things feel so much better. And having that insurance policy in the back pocket.
It makes things a lot easier. And did you see something on Asher's screen right now?
I was just going to ask you, I'm pretty sure he just picked up a chest. Something happened. I thought something was in front of it. You know, you blink.
Well, he opened a chest and closed it without taking what was inside, so I'm just gonna assume he walked in and it was just there waiting for him.
Always got to take the chest that's sitting right there. Now, the one thing, and Cheese is pointing this out as well, that I was going to say was that all that's left for Sonny after this is Volcano, and Volcano is by far the fastest Fiend dungeon to clear due to the fact that you have all those fire tiles that don't advance your step counter and you can't get attacked on.
Yeah.
So this is really close. This is probably 2.5.
I'm looking
minutes.
at potential 2-minute difference here. Depending on how quickly Asher gets through this. And he'll get through this quickly. He's at the bottom now. But released the Kraken for the second time today. Almost said third time. And it was a weak Kraken that we had before. And it was still a weak Kraken now. So that's that. Lich is also not going to survive very long at this point, especially being the last Fiend taken out. We've already taken down T-Map. What do you think? You got a chance? Nuke comes out, and that is a 154. There's a fade. And that's the fight.
We are probably somewhere in the vicinity. We're going to see Sonny entering right around the time that Asher is going to be around Lich-ish in the area of. So he's still going to need, Asher is going to need to wipe in order for Sonny to come back to this, but it's not a gigantic lead by any stretch.
And one thing they did not pick up, they didn't pick up the power block because they didn't find that. That's locked behind one of the remaining fetch quests, I believe. So that is something they're not going to have for additional magic casting for defensive purposes. So that's going to be something they don't have in this trip down. But we're going to see what happens as Asher at about 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 55 seconds is now 2,000 years into the past.
Yeah, we never finished out ice. No one went to ice, no one dealt with ice, so whatever combination of ruby and adamant eventually would make their way to that power bonk, so that's not going to be found.
Yeah, the ruby and the adamant were probably in ice and the Titan's treasure, respectively, and then the second fetch would have led to the actually, the ruby wouldn't have been in the Titan's treasure. In any case, the fetch quest would have led to the power bonk and possibly the Thor hammer as well.
Yeah, I never saw that too. It would have wound up in one of them, and the other one would be loose somewhere in the universe.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We didn't find the third loose item, did we?
No, so some combination of bottle, adamant, ruby thing would eventually lead to one of them, and the other one's loose somewhere.
We never got to visit that ferry today, unfortunately. Anyway, we are going to see a zombie dragon and some kind of vampire there. And that's on the second floor, so we are through the only door in the game that is 100% required for the Mystic Key. Don't know why that was there in the developer's thing. There's a story behind that. We're not going to go into that right now. We're just going to go with the race.
When the devs decide to copy and paste things.
You just see him laughing back in 1990. Hey, why'd you make that a locked door? I just felt like putting it there.
Right here, and as Sawneyrath enters, Asher is on to the earth floor, so gonna need some luck. I don't know if they both came in on the same encounter table. I didn't notice if they both power cycled into this, so they'll be getting the same ones or not either.
The dragons there had glare. Interesting. So we are finding Speed Bump version 2.0, but this Speed Bump has damage poison and is barely standing right now. So Lich trying to make itself heard here, but unfortunately it still goes out with a whimper. We are going to have to heal up, though.
Yeah, it's a real hopeful pickup for Iz right now. He's level 6. He's just here to absorb a punch when Kraken decides to smash something.
So I'm going to be curious to see how this works out, because Asher's going to have fewer nuke charges. Sawneyrath is going to have all the nuke he needs coming down these floors. So this is going to be one of those things. Plus the katana for one of the ninjas as well. That Asher never... I don't think Asher found a katana anywhere in Sky. So this is going to be one of the advantages Sawneyrath does have. If Asher has any trouble and ends up having to wipe, Sawneyrath will very possibly be able to just force his way through it and could steal the race as a result. Not too far behind, only 2 floors behind. Now, though, it will be 1 floor behind.
Yeah, Asher here pulling carry 2, going with all-out offense. Who cares about you? We're just gonna smash you. Xcal 133, fade 154. Carry responds with fast, and of course, stun fast comes out from the ninja. Of course, that comes out onto the knight after it's swung because turn order.
And another shot from the ninja rather. That was only 42 damage. Again, they don't have the katana, so they're not swinging for heavy damage. This is where Sawneyrath will get a little bit of an advantage with that katana swinging. Nuke comes out for 210, and that is enough to take it out. Take out carry.
Yeah, he's swinging with the baby katana of the Vorpal at this point in time.
I just saw the level. He's at level 26. He is about 3-4 levels behind Sawneyrath. I saw Sawneyrath get a full 29 at one point. So there is a level discrepancy here. This will be something that comes into play.
Yeah, might allow Sawny to be able to, take one less round when it comes to killing something, and that would be big. Now, on the plus side, Asher, being at the levels he's at, he will have 4 charges on all of his, on his one ninja. His second ninja, of course, spent time sleeping the whole game, didn't want to learn anything. So having that extra caster can be really, really big here coming through for Sawny.
It's going to be huge. They could get to Chaos around the same time here. This is going to get exciting. Let's see how Sawneyrath does on the carry fight. We're about to pull Kraken 2 in the meantime, and we're going to try and follow both at the same time here. We get the carry fight first from Sawneyrath. A fade comes out immediately. We are going to see 103 damage. Danny hitting for 6, not a lot. Or Mario, I should say, hitting for 6. 77 damage there. Stun does not work. Meanwhile, release the Kraken 2 on Asher's side. And he's going to have somebody wait, it looks like, and do nothing, which is interesting.
Well, Iz isn't going to do anything anyway. It's there to take a punch.
Yeah, pretty much. Carry goes down in the meantime. We are getting fast used on someone there. White shirt comes out to help with invisibility, make everything easy to dodge. Easier to dodge.
Also got a fog too. The knight used a fog too to buff up their buff up everybody.
Oh, there goes Iz. We knew Iz was gonna go down.
Doing its job. Meat shielding.
There, I did my job.
I always find it entertaining. It's always a Kraken too, where when you dance somebody, they spend the whole time looking at the ground, and then as soon as they wake up, they see that thing ready to punch them in the face. Must be so good.
They get punched by a tentacle and they're back down.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you brought me back. So
much pain. Look at this time that Sawneyrath has made up. He is about to pull Kraken to himself. This just got a lot closer.
And this is going to be, you're going to see Sawny dealing out more damage. He's got the opportunity to do so. And just like that, Asher's now finished off Kraken 2. But just as he finishes it, here we go. Kraken fight coming out from Sawny.
Now, the runners are playing on a 15-minute delay, so they probably are done by now. Then they're probably watching the end of this. We're not going to look at the channel to see who won, so we are playing this as if we know nothing.
I am not even checking SRL.
Team at 2 is pulled. Team at 2 is pulled.
Well, big hit from that katana. That's gonna, if he keeps this up, he's gonna probably drop him in the next turn or two. The fog 2 coming out on Asher's front, trying to buff up those defenses again. Vorpal hit 270. Tiamat's got a little damage. He doesn't have his meat shield in the front.
I think Kraken just dodged a hit there. This Kraken might be a little evasive.
Yeah, it dodged one katana hit on the first attack as well. Ooh, it reaches out, does a big
Terminated, though. Terminated, though. Now, if Asher can finish this fight quickly, he'll be able to maintain an advance here. Otherwise, Sawneyrath may make up some more time here.
Tiamat, 1 hit, 1 damage. 8 hits, 107. Seems like we got a pretty high absorbed Tiamat here. The base damage of the katana might be something that really influences this fight.
I haven't been paying attention to the magic cast either. Ice 3 is clearly not doing it. He's relying on other magic spells, whereas the ninja's going to be firing out nuke here because they can fire those extra nuke charges. This could be a massive swing right here if Sawneyrath can pull off the fight first.
It smashes. Hope that's not good. That white mage down on one knee. Gonna get the cure 4 off this turn though, so it's gonna be a live wall coming out on Sawneyrath's side. You've got Temper fast going out onto the Katana Ninja. This TMX got a little bit of health too. Hasn't gone down very quick. And hit 320 on Sonny's side.
Zap!
Good damage.
Zap
his
comes
laugh
out!
comes out. It gets the fighter. Oh no, his only real good damage is both his big damage dealers.
The knight is down. This is huge for Sawneyrath right now, as long as Sawneyrath does not fall to that zap.
Sawneyrath got also threw up a wall.
Sawneyrath loses Danny.
Everyone else lives.
Only the white wizard is left on Asher's side.
The hopeful Bane strat. All you can do at this time, hope it kicks through.
He's just gonna keep going with the Bane sword. He has to hope the Bane sword hits. Because that white wizard is not going to cause enough damage. And again, he could be almost out of damage, but we don't know.
Even if it's 100 health, that white wizard isn't doing 100 damage. And there we go, Sawneyrath.
Sawneyrath takes the lead. Wow. The levels did come into play against T-Mat. Look at that.
Got a Bane war going on this side. If he can get this Bane to land, he's got a shot.
I want to know if Hope has any charges of life left, because he can just bring the knight back right now and just try to get him swinging.
Bane. He's got a hope. Meanwhile, Sawneyrath is full chaos.
Down. That's going to be the game right here. I think Sawneyrath is going to get this now, I think. All he has to do is get through this chaos fight. Uber uses fast. Danny swings for 3. And it's the writing is on the wall now, unless something bad happens here. But we are getting a shot there, and Biz 2 comes out.
7 hits, 314 already out of that Katana. It's doing some damage.
104. Chaos has nuke. We have lost Uber. We have almost lost Asher. And we are...
boy.
John is low. They have to heal. They have to take a turn to heal.
This is bad. If Asher goes down, that's bad news. That's where all his damage is going to come out of.
John is naturally using Cure 4 on Asher because that is a nuke caster. He does not want Asher to disappear. We've already lost Uber. He doesn't have life too.
That's also the character that's got the Katana. That's where all your melee damage is going to come from. Asher has to stay alive. His fighter is doing absolutely nothing with that ice sword. It is all resting on that ninja with the Katana.
There was an X-Cal. There was an X-Cal in Sky Palace. Asher did pick that up, but Sawneyrath did not find that. And I don't think he has... I don't know if he has the Vorpal either.
No, he's swinging an ice sword right now.
So this is going to come down to nukes. And that's why he was leveling up so much in the Marsh Cave, or in the Earth Cave. He wanted to make sure he had those nukes available to use in this fight. And terminated! Sawneyrath pulls off the victory, and with an official SRL time of, I'm going to get it in a moment because there's a lot of chat in here, official SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 21 seconds. And you saw for a moment that Asher paused. I thought it might have been a forfeit, but no, he is going to continue. He is going to attempt to finish this seed.
Oh, and that extra time spent by Sawny grinding those up, getting all 4 of his characters into a position where they could, we said before, everybody over 400 health so they could survive a high roll nuke. Chaos threw it out. Everybody lived.
I do see Sawneyrath in the setup channel. We are probably going to get to hear from him in just a moment here. I see one of our setup helpers just helping get him set up here, and we'll have him in a moment. Meanwhile, Lich is being pulled by Asher for the second time here, Lich 2. And Sawneyrath, welcome and GG.
Thank you.
Oh, let's ask the obvious first question. When you realized that you had an early chime and an early cube, did early Sky Palace enter your mind immediately?
Yes, it did, very, very quickly. The only problem was that I didn't feel comfortable going in there with the levels that I had, which is why you saw me looking around, figuring out what I could kill early on, so that way I could hit anywhere from level 9 to 11. So that way I could have 2 charges of Fade, potentially 3, going in there, as well as having enough HP to be able to survive 1, maybe 2 melee attacks if necessary.
And the next obvious question here is when you picked the double thief, I mentioned that we went with the white mage, then you went with the double thief, and then the fighter was picked to counter that. When that party came out, did you expect that you would be using magic from your ninjas to get through the endgame?
Yes, I definitely did. Without a black mage, ninjas have a lot of versatility. And this seed definitely showed that with level 2 Temper, level 4 Fast, level 2 Nuke, and if I remember correctly, level 2 Lock as well.
A big play for you early on was making the decision that, obviously you were saying you weren't very comfortable with your levels. You decided to go Marsh. Now, while that didn't yield you any progression, it did yield you two very important things, a ribbon and what ultimately ended up being a massive decider for this, a katana. Happy pulling all that out for you?
Oh, I was very happy when I saw ribbon and katana, because when I went into Marsh and checked Upper Marsh, I went, all right, depending upon what I get, I'm going to reset. And then I saw katana and I went, okay, I'm not resetting now. And then I see ribbon and I'm like, well, that's a bonus prize right there, and that's a huge bonus prize, because that's going to come in handy throughout the entire game.
We saw, particularly with Asher, he ended up getting a sword that you didn't in Excal, but it really was that crit rate of that katana that really, really helped to pull you through this game. So, one of those times where it wasn't necessarily progression in Marsh, but Marsh being a big, big savior to you.
Very much so. The katana itself being an in-game weapon, the best weapon for the ninja outside of the Mazmune, helps a lot.
And you got to see that last 15 minutes before you came in as well, because obviously you guys are 15 minutes ahead of what we're seeing here. So you got to see that Asher's knight fell, and obviously the knight is the one who's swinging the Excal. So as soon as that knight went down, he just pulled out the Bane sword and just kept flashing it at T-Mac, basically going, "Die, you coward!" And it just wouldn't go down. The Bane wouldn't hit today, and that really put you ahead to stay as you got to the Chaos fight and won it.
Yeah, I did get to see the massive usage of the Bane sword. And I could tell that was a Hail Mary play coming out, because there's a chance for it to connect. I believe it's a 3 and 256. With Xfer, it becomes a 6 and 256 or something along those lines. Still very low, but very possible.
And
if you're rocking a solo white mage, it's probably your best option.
I was wondering why he didn't try to bring the knight back at least, but I think he was more concerned with the fact that the knight might have taken an immediate punch before he could heal it. So he thought the Bane sword was the best play he had, perhaps. That's just my guess on that.
Outside of all that, this was huge for you. This was an absolute must-win. Lost game 1, needed to get this for, to force game 3. Obviously feeling good about that. Any sort of changes you're looking to make heading to game 3 now?
Nope, double thief is what I'm going with.
Throwing the strategy out already, eh? It's like, this is what I'm doing, figure it out.
Oh yeah. I mean, thieves are something I've been practicing very heavily. I'm comfortable with my black belt play, I'm comfortable with my fighter play. My thief play going into this tournament, I was not as comfortable with. And the first 2 rounds of Swiss, I played Thief Rainbow. Rounds 3 and 4, I drafted with my opponents, and those rounds respectively were Thief, Black Mage, Black Mage, Black Mage, and Thief, Thief, Black Mage, Black Mage.
What you're saying is you pretty much just had to learn how to play Thief, and now you're cool with it.
Yeah, I had to refine my Thief play.
Well, this could be good for this phase of the tournament, because now you've had some experience doing that. And now you can say that, okay, if you want to throw double thief at me, I'm ready for you. Let's fight. And that can be an advantage now that you have that experience. So I guess you could say there's less chance that if someone else gets you to go first in the draft, there's less chance they're going to try and double thief you. You can still, of course, throw a thief at them if they don't have experience with it, and they have to deal with it.
Exactly.
it would have been fantastic knowing that that's your strategy. If it was the potential that Will Bloodworth would have been on the other side of this, that I could have seen a fourth Thief party come out of you guys.
That would
yeah.
be great.
Oh yeah, if Will and I happen to be matched up, we were talking about it a while back, and it's like we went 4 thieves, 4 thieves.
Forget the draft, just do 4 thieves.
We will do what normally would be on the bonus stream as a race.
Anything else about the seed that really jumps out to you? I mean, early on it was just a lot of running around. It seemed like, just trying to find levels where you could. Obviously not having access to any decent AoE off the start due to the fact you had, you at least had to spend some time grinding to get that fade. Overall, though, impressions and thoughts of the seed?
So, early, like before the race even started, Asher and I were talking after we did our draft, and the one thing I said is if we get level 1 fade or an early fade, the seed is going to be a lot easier. Lo and behold, it was level 4, which it shared a slot with Cure 4, so I had to weigh which spell I wanted to use, whether I wanted to use Cure 4 or whether I wanted to use Fade. More often than not, Fade was the option. You didn't see me switch to Cure 4 for the most part until Chaos after he nuked me. And my strategy going in was going to be to use my Thief to carry after promotion, even though that wasn't a guarantee to have.
Let's move to Asher for a moment, because I think he's about to finish, but he has to get through a Chaos fight with only his fighter and his knight, rather, and his white wizard left standing. Using the white shirt, Song is swinging for 293, Chaos trying lightning 2, 106 left on Hope, and Hope is stunned from the stop spell, so it's just the knight swinging right now. No other safeguards right now. Knight hits for another 294, should be able to get this. It's tanking enough damage here. Nuke comes out though. Hope goes down. So looks like
nuke out of Chaos.
Song is the only hope right now. Another nuke would take him out, but nope, 214 damage, and Chaos goes down for Asher, and we do have him done with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 30 seconds, and we'll see if he wants to join us in a moment here. In the meantime, this is going to be a 3-game series, one of very few in this round of the brackets so far, so maybe the only one, I don't know. And game number 3 is going to take place tomorrow at the same time, 10:15 Eastern Time. Tomorrow is when you're going to see a broadcast here, and that is going to be somewhere on the Speed Gaming family of networks. Don't know yet if it's going to be this channel or a different channel, but keep an eye on the schedule. We'll have that information for you as soon as we have it available. Tomorrow at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time. And we'll see if Ash wants to join us in the meantime.
I believe he's taking care of one of the kids real quick.
Yep, I got him and sent him a ping. But in the meantime, are there any other thoughts that you had regarding the seed itself? Like, how did you think of the seed in general?
So, the seed, outside of the damage poison arachnids, I believe,
Of course.
was pretty tame compared to yesterday's, in my opinion. Level 4 Fade was really nice. Level 1 through 4 Black Magic was extremely nice. Level 2 Nuke definitely paid dividends in my grind, and something you may have noticed is I did 2 different grinds, one on Fire Elementals, just so that way I could get extra Nuke charges and see how much EXP I could get on them versus the Rock Golems I was fighting. And then I switched over to the Rock Golems and just kept getting 3-4, 3-4, occasional 2-packs. So, all in all, the tiles themselves were really nice this seed, and it helped a lot. It definitely sped my play up a ton.
Looking through all of this, I know you ended up spending that additional time doing that, but it ended up paying off substantially, and also running a 4-man through this because of that massive black magic. Obviously, was it always an intention to run 4-man for this, or was it going to be completely dependent magic-wise?
It was going to be very dependent on the magic, and then when I saw Temper at level 2 and Fast at level 4, I went, no, I need to stick with 4-man. 4-man is going to pay massive dividends.
Asher said he might just be hanging out in the Twitch chat, saying he didn't get an invite here, but so it looks like he just didn't see it. Might have already closed Discord, so he's going to just go ahead and hang out in the chat. We're not going to hear from him on the air, unfortunately, but if you see him in chat, feel free to ask any questions up in the chat. I'm sure he'll give his answers. In the meantime, any other questions you have, Omar?
No, I mean, overall, I think it was a great race by you. Obviously, high pressure situation for you, and good GG being able to pull that out for yourself.
Right now, I'm just looking forward to tomorrow because Game 3 hype.
Game 3 is always exciting to see in any of these best of 3 matches. I always love to see a Game 3 because you know everything's on the line. You know someone's going to move on. You know someone's going home no matter what happens at the end of that broadcast. So always fun to see that. And I know I'll be looking forward to that tomorrow. I know we talked a little bit during the race about how, or at least I think I was going solo at that point because Omar's had some mic problems. But I was noting during that part where you were grinding, I was wondering if that was going to come back to bite you because Asher got 2 full Speaking Dungeons done in the time that you were grinding. And what he did was he stopped to do a walking grind as he was going. He went, not stopped, but went and did a walking grind while getting chests in Sky Palace. That's how he found the Excalibur. And that's where you made back a lot of your time just breezing through Sky Palace. Of course, it cost you the Excalibur, of course, but in one of the greed checks on third floor. But it was really interesting to see that play out. I was not sure what was going to happen, and it was definitely exciting to watch. So you both did put on a really good race today in that aspect.
Appreciate it, Cyclone.
Indeed. Lomars?
I think we've done everything that I could think of at this point in time. I mean, like I said, and to Asher, what a phenomenal race that he put on. Had the lead pretty much through the majority of Topher and just hit that unfortunate roadblock with Zap. I mean, GG's to you, my friend. Was a heck of a race. I know, obviously not ending the way that you had hoped, but a little less pressure on you for this game, knowing that you had that 1 game advantage. Everyone wants to close it out in 2, but I've said this every single time I've had an opportunity to mention this race, that everyone, you look at this is technically the 1 versus 16. And in so many situations like that, everyone kind of goes, oh, the 1 seed has such a massive advantage. And that's absolutely zero disrespect to you, Sonny, but I know you'll be the first one to say it, that pretty much anyone from 1 through 16 has a very genuine chance to take this all the way home.
Oh, yeah. At this point, brackets are the meat grinder. The Swiss stage wasn't all that bad. Yes, there were some stressful matches for us, but at this point, we are in the true meat grinder. We have to play to the absolute best of our abilities.
And that's for every single race going forward, because at this point, there are no easy matches. Not at this phase in the tournament. So you definitely have to put your best on the table for every single race at this point. We do look forward to seeing this game number 3 tomorrow. Good luck to both of you tomorrow. It should be a really exciting race to watch.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
For everybody here, make sure if you've enjoyed what you've seen, make sure you check out our Discord. Come chat if you want to learn this game. There's a bunch of awesome people there. The Duckling program, which will help you if you're wanting to learn, if you just want to talk about the game, anything about it, the randomizer in general. Make sure you check out the Discord. Make sure you give our runners, both asher1611, Sawneyrath1 a follow, to Cyclone for co-commentating, our tracker tonight, everybody who's been a part of this and is a part of this behind the scenes for that. It's a fantastic crew. If you ever want to hang out or learn anything, it's a great community to be a part of.
And Jonathan Yoshi was our tracker, so yes, give him a follow as well. Just want to get his name out there as well, obviously. And make sure you follow my co-commentator, Omar's Ubermuller as well. I have to think about that name because that's a hard name to say.
That's the point.
So for those of you looking for other things to watch before the race tomorrow, Speed Gaming does have other. This is the only race on this tournament tomorrow. There's another game 3, and I'm not sure if that's going on Sunday or not yet, because I haven't checked the status of that particular match. But there is another game 3 on Sunday if that is needed. We'll talk about that tomorrow, I'm sure. In the meantime, this game number 3 is at 10:15 Eastern Time tomorrow, again on one of the Speed Gaming channels. It probably. I don't know which channel it will be, but again, I'm looking at the schedule for tomorrow. I do see a TMNT marathon that does end before then on Speed Gaming Prime, so who knows? Could be there, could be a different channel. Don't know which one yet. But feel free to check out the TMNT marathon, some Portal 2, some Super Metroid, Link to the Past combo randomizer, all coming on tomorrow. Other things you can watch here in the meantime prior to that race. Make sure you're back on with us at 10:15 Eastern Time. We'll be happy to have this game for you, and we're going to be excited to see it. It should be a great race. We'll see you all then, everyone. And until then, I just want to say have a great evening. And obviously, a lot of randomizers still to come to determine who the champion is going to be. Make sure you enjoy it. We sure are. I'm going to give the final word to my co-commentator, Omars. Have a good night, everyone.
Everybody, thank you again. Make sure you follow Speed Gaming, all their family of networks, the family at Randomania who's been hosting this. As was said, we have got all of the final remaining bracket matches, and then we're moving on to the Elite 8 all the way into the finals. You're going to want to check it out. For everybody here on Speed Gaming too, thank you and good night.